fuck sticks. So I had a relaxing weekend on the beach, hanging out with Betty White and her Betty White friends. And I was talking with her. She says I should come back to the show. She says the show is not worth it without me on it. All the talking I do, all my philosophy for the beard. So I guess I'm gonna come back later this week, motherfuckers. So get ready for me.
The reason why this podcast sucks and we have no fans is because Rick and damn Duper talk way too goddamn much.
I decided to start with a sound this week. It's Take Warning, the podcast for everybody. Presented by Josh, Rick, Dupe, and Greg. Hey, Dupe. What's our not sponsor this week?
Well, most of the time, these are a little bit more funny, but this time we're going to be a little bit more serious. I'm going to request everybody to, if they have the funds, to reach out to donate.als.org and make a donation. ALS has affected some people close to us, and we'll learn more about that later on in the show.
Thank you. I know it's not necessarily the big exciting ridiculousness that we normally do, but this is a special day for, well, I mean, me especially, and everybody that was touched by someone close to me. We're going to talk about it a little bit later in the show, and there's a special meaning behind it. So we'll just save that. We are going to have a fun little conversation regarding a woman cutting off her hand for an insurance scam. A little bit about that vaccine that was suspended. We're going to do a circle jerk. It's been a month. Let's do another circle jerk. I have a question to pose about gender reveal parties, and we're going to do our Super Bowl picks and get out of here. All right, Dupe, what'd you do this week?
Well, not much. It was September 11th was this past week, so I just wanted to take a moment again. A down start. I'm sorry, guys, but to remember 9/11. Where were you guys when it happened?
Oh, actually, where were we? It was yeah, I do actually.
It was one of those moments that changed. Like there's moments in people's lives that you remember exactly where you were at, and this was one of them for us. Like,
yeah,
where were you
100% agree. I was actually going to school at the time in Canyon Country, or College of the Canyons. I had gotten up that morning, and it was maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. The first tower had just been hit. I remember turning it on and thinking, like, dude, what the hell was that? Like, somehow a plane flew into the World Trade Center. That's a trip. But I was watching it live when the second plane went in, and I realized, oh my God, we're in a world of shit. And it was the reaction that I remember the most. I remember when there were no planes in the sky for a week, and there were tanks in the street, and there was National Guard everywhere on both coasts, and everybody was just kind of, holding their breaths because they didn't know what was going to happen. That's what I remember from it. Greg, what do you remember?
Ah, dude. So mine is like, obviously it's a shitty day for all of us, but I was in Camp Beauregard, Louisiana. So on September 9th, we once a year we went from Fort Polk, Louisiana to Camp Beauregard up to just do like field exercises and stuff like that. And it's like an hour away from Fort Polk. So we always needed to like take civilian freeways, and police and highway patrol were supposed to, meet us and escort us, stuff like that. They didn't show up. So September 9th, right, we got this big old vehicle convoy of like 100 vehicles on Louisiana highways, and Americans were flipping us off, flipping us the bird. Like I said, our police escort didn't show up, Then September 11th happened. And then September 14th, the day that we were coming back, not only were the Louisiana Highway Patrol waiting for us for like an hour, but then all of a sudden, the same people that were flipping us off, cutting us off of the roads, were now waving American flags, fucking saying, "Ooh, support our troops. We love you." And you're like, wow, what a difference, 4 or 5 days made. It was kind of crazy, man. But I will never forget that. And I've never seen a whole bunch of soldiers ready to go to war than I did on September 11th. That's crazy.
Everybody was ready for it, right? At that point.
Absolutely.
breaks out like a day or two before all this happened. And I remember my mom comes screaming into the room when the first plane hit. And I was on painkillers, so I thought it was all a dream, seeing it, live on TV going down. And then we saw the second one go down. We rushed to the high school, pick up my sister just in case. That's how, a lot of Americans were. We were worrying. We're driving by houses. There's one house I remember over by, if you guys remember Mesa Junior High, and there's a guy sitting out there with a flag and a shotgun in a chair just sitting there. Not, I didn't see a TV, no music, no nothing. Just look like probably an old veteran.
That guy was a veteran.
Yeah, just out there waiting for something to happen. Luckily, my great uncle had the second plane flew over his head as he was walking to work into the tower. And he would have been in the tower when it happened, but his car actually broke down, and the ferry was late that morning to get him across the island. So, yeah, it's pretty deep.
Huh. Yeah, mine's a little bit more similar to Greg's. I was in Fort Irwin, California, doing a field training, also a month-long field training, and we were in formation, and one of the office workers comes running out and whispers in the first sergeant's ear, and then goes running back in the office. And then first sergeant, he told us, the tower's been hit. And so it was just like a surreal moment, but you're in formation in the military, you can't react, right? You're just in formation. And then the little office worker comes running back out again, and he whispers in the first sergeant's ear, and then he runs back in the office. And then the first sergeant tells us that the second tower's been hit. And it was surreal. It really was, because that being in the military, like Greg and I, we knew, we're directly involved in this. We're going to respond to this. Our field training immediately halted. A month-long field training, I think, ended up being a week and a half, 2 weeks. They sent us all home to Fort Hood, Texas. I got to do a pep rally essentially with President Bush. He came down and talked to the troops and talked about the first war of the 21st century. Are you ready? And that was kind of cool on the way out. Got to shake the president's hand. At the time, I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now, looking back on it. But that's where I was.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's good to remember. I would do it. I'm glad that we brought it up, because it's not even taught in schools a lot of the times now. I'm learning about that. They don't even bring up September 11th. My daughter this week, I asked if they brought up 9/11. Nothing. And she's in a private school that actually does the whole God and country thing, and they didn't even talk about 9/11 at all.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
to me, it's like, what are you gonna do, dude? History repeats itself, right? To those that forget it, or some shit like that, whatever that phrase is. It needs to be remembered, and it's only been 19 years. Like, come on, man! Everybody remembers Pearl Harbor. I mean, that's 70 years.
I heard an interesting thing about this one. People who were not even born when 9/11 happened are now old enough to vote. Think about that.
Yeah, it's been 19 years.
I have some employees that are like that. We cover it all the damn time. Never forget. And we would do things like we're doing now. Hey, share your 9/11 story, because it's good for us to share all of our stories, and then there's people who are like, I wasn't even born.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
Holy shit. Really? It's insane. Now I know how kind of adults felt, because the thing before 9/11 was the JFK assassination, and there's how many people weren't even, us included, weren't even around back then. So it's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, the kids are just as arrogant as we were at that time. We didn't want to listen to World War II veterans when we were, 14, 15 years old, talk about Pearl Harbor. We didn't want to. I don't know. The JFK one was interesting. That one was always pretty interesting. But so let's. Did you guys have weekly catch-ups? Greg, what do you have, man?
The only other thing, man, other than 9/11 is I did something exciting. We bought a dishwasher, and had that installed. Went down to the Home Depot. It's amazing. I love it. But dude, our former dishwasher was like 30 years old, man. And it's like, I hope this one lasts 30 years, but they just don't make appliances like they used to.
9/11 to a dishwasher. Yeah.
and And I'm pretty sure when he's saying he went down to Home Depot to get a dishwasher, he means a person,
I
not an actual
100%
machine.
believe that because that's how he feels about Mexicans.
And then when he was talking about like the old one was 30, he actually meant that was a 30-year-old person that he just like let go.
Yeah.
So
Well, I hope it
I don't
was
know.
Arthur, honestly. And he just turned 39 2 days ago. So happy birthday, Arthur. I'm glad that you're washing
You
now.
hairy bastard.
Arthur, do my dishes. All right, he's there.
He's just making sure he's there under the sink. He's short
Yeah.
enough for it.
That dude's birthday was on September 11th.
Huh?
His birthday was on
No,
September
3 days
11th.
ago. My bad. 3 days ago on the
Okay.
10th.
What was your catch up? How you been, Josh?
Good, man. Just, normal week at work after coming off a holiday. So we had Monday off and, trying to get back into that Tuesday, Monday groove again. It was a long ass week for only being 4 days.
It's good to have you back, man. We missed you.
Thanks.
Rick, what's up with you, man?
Me? Dude. So since 1993, I have not had a cavity or any problems with my teeth. And then all of a sudden, it felt like my tooth was trying to murder me, just out of the blue. So I was trying to hold on to it, right? Because this whole COVID thing, and you're only supposed to go to the dentist for real reasons, and they're really spaced out on their appointments and shit. So I'm holding out until I couldn't handle it anymore, and I got a root canal for the first time in my life yesterday because I did have a cavity. That shit's amazing, by the way. I highly suggest if you're ever in extreme pain, just have them do a root canal. All they do is kill the nerve, and then it doesn't hurt anymore. So fuck yeah, dude. Root canals for life. I actually asked. I was like, why don't you just kill the nerves in all of my teeth? Like, why do I need this? It just hurts. Like, what's the point now? I mean, I'm sure somebody could come up with a reason why you need the nerves in your teeth, but fuck you. How about that? It hurts. That's how I'm looking at it. But yeah, that was my week.
Dude, it's all those Menzos that you keep
Dude,
eating.
I know.
man.
It's the sugary exterior that's really doing me in. It's not the salty. The creamy, salty inside is great. It's that sugary exterior that's keeping it all in there. That firm stiffness. So what are we going to talk about?
We were all hoping that the nerves in your throat weren't working, so then you could kind of get that in there.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know my gag reflex is still there. So sorry, fellas.
we still don't have anything to worry about.
I've never had a root canal.
A boy can dream, right?
I got my tonsils out. Is that the same? I don't know. So a woman cut off her hand with a circular saw in a $1.2 million insurance scam. They found this out. One of the reasons why they found out was her boyfriend's search history revealed he was searching for prosthetic hands the day before the accident. So it kind of gives away your whole insurance thing. Greg, what would you do for $1.2 million?
I would keep both my hands actually, because they're not. I mean, dude, especially my right hand. My left hand, maybe you could get rid of some fingers, but dude, not a whole hand. Like, were they inspired by like Captain Hook, and were they like trying to do like an early Halloween costume or something? Like,
they were inspired by money.
Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
how many chins would you sell for 1.2 million?
Oh, dude, I don't think I get rid of any of my chins. I mean, it wouldn't work, man. I mean, you can't have chinuary without chins.
Wait, $1.2 million?
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
would, yeah. I would give my own lipo on my chins for fucking $1.2 million.
Okay, Rick, how mad would you be at your wife for fucking this up? Like, if you went and cut your fucking hand off, and then the insurance company finds Rachel had a search history looking for prosthetic hands. Does that relationship survive?
I mean, once I get out of prison, shit's going down. I'm just saying. I love you, Rachel, but
what are you gonna do with one hand?
dude,
what kind of shit, Rick?
just nubs, straight nub, dude. Like, you don't even have to ball up a fist anymore. It's just a nub in, right there, right as she falls down the stairs.
Well, I mean, the good news is,
Kidding. I do not condone domestic violence. I want to point that out.
They went outside and they cut this hand off like by a tree, right? And they left the hand there allegedly on purpose, so then they wouldn't be able to reattach it later on. So the idea was that the hand would be, too old to reattach later on. They were able to reattach the hand, so that's cool.
So, dude, is she like now like Woody Harrelson's character in that movie Kingpin? When she falls, the hand like comes off. It's like
so what? Okay, so insurance pays you out if you cut off your hand, or is this supposed to be like an
She
accident?
took out insurance premiums the year prior. So
Okay.
she took out these insurance things that would
She was
pay
planning
out
this
on
for a
this.
while, and
Yeah.
and I mean, what I'm surprised by, what I mean, at no point nobody's gonna think like maybe that's not so attractive that you're gonna have like a fake hand.
Well, I mean, it sounds like she was in a committed relationship, and $1.2 million looks a little bit better than a fake hand to these folks.
So Duper, it wasn't her strong hand.
Take my strong hand, child. Josh, you look like a lumberjack. When was the last time you ever used a saw?
Ah, shit. Cutting up wood to put in my stove this morning for breakfast.
Grit.
That's such bullshit. First off, we know from previous podcasts you don't know how to use a stove, let alone a wood burning stove. That's way
That's
beyond
true.
your capability.
Yeah, microwave doesn't take wood, so it's been a while.
All right. So, Oxford COVID vaccine trial suspensions. So they suspended the Oxford COVID vaccine. What happens next, Rick?
So it was actually it was AstraZeneca, right? That's the big pharma that's behind this one. Yeah, they haven't talked about what the illness was. It doesn't. The big thing here is that people are saying, okay, well, yeah, obviously the vaccines aren't safe, but this is all part of the process, and this is why they do this. I'm not really concerned with whatever shit that person was feeling, because that's part of the process of testing a vaccine like this. You have to check for side effects, and if one person has an adverse reaction, they're safe enough to slow it down. It's actually resumed, by the way. Now, as of this recording, they resumed it, but they're only doing it in the UK. They're not going to be continuing the trials here in the United States. But yeah, I mean, for me, it makes sense, and I hope they still take their sweet ass time, halt it whenever they need to. And if we don't get a vaccine until next spring, I mean, that's still a miracle. Like that, I mean, this is amazing progress. Like again, amazing progress of what they're doing right now, even with the hang up.
So Duper, that you said this, or Rick said this is all part of the process. So was this the process that you went through for your herpes vaccine?
No, that was an established vaccine. You just get that. That's no big deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
So
It's
you
not
didn't
a
get
new
no cold
vaccine.
sores
How
or
many
nothing?
shots do you need
Mm-mm.
for herpes? How many shots do you get?
6.
Are they all to the dick?
6 shots.
Is it all to the dick?
Oh, right in the pee hole. Like that's
Ooh.
where they
Okay.
go.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's painful.
Yeah.
So, Greg, you and I, we've talked about this. Is this the zombie apocalypse? Is that the reason why they've not released what that illness was? Because they fucking turned into a zombie? And, I mean, I was reading the article. It says that they expect them to fully recuperate. But how the fuck do you recuperate from a zombie vaccine?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work, Dude, I even saw, so like my wife is all caught up on Netflix for like the next 30 years. So now she's watching like foreign films and stuff on Netflix. And there's this one called Alive. And it's basically like this Korean movie about the zombie apocalypse. And those zombies still were dead and couldn't be back to life. So, and all this shit always happens overseas, whether it's Europe, China, Korea's,
Korea.
whatever. So, I mean, like, I'm glad they're doing it overseas, but dude, it's only a matter of time before the zombie apocalypse comes our way here in the States.
I guess it is a good thing that that's the UK that this is happening in. Because, like, that's an island. It's not very big when you think about the UK, Scotland, and Ireland. They're very small.
Yeah.
So it's good that it's happening there. It's going to be very hard for these zombies to get across the Atlantic.
You saw what happened with 28 Days Later, right? Or was it 28 Weeks Later?
Well, Shaun of the Dead.
Well, it was more localized, right? Like it was the UK that got shut down in 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, right? So US was doing great. We were fine, man. Let us stay over there.
So if any of you guys get the zombie virus, please allow me to be the first one to kill you. Because I've hated you guys for so long that like it'd make me feel so much better if I had to like shoot you in the head or take a baseball bat with fucking barbed wire around it. So I'm just putting that out there, man. If you need me to kill you, let me know.
If I get it, I want you to do bow and arrow because I want you to miss like 7 times before you actually hit me. So,
Dude, I'm pretty good with a bow and
Shit,
arrow,
he
man.
shoots like a stormtrooper.
I'm pretty good with a bow and arrow. I got the ones with the suction cups on it. Dude, I can hit that shit all the time. 100 points.
I don't know why you hate us so much. Why are you even on the podcast? Damn, you and Josh did.
I don't know. because it's the Rick and Duper Best Friends
I'm waiting.
podcast. And actually, what I was thinking about that is like you guys totally make. You said Shaun of the Dead. You guys are the two main characters from Shaun of the Dead. So
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, like,
no.
Duper's
Duper's
dude that was in
the
the
fat
shed.
guy in the basement.
No. And it was a shed. First off, Rick, you're the fat dude in the shed. Obviously, you look like him. I look like Shaun of the Dead.
I don't know.
You
Well,
do,
I guess
Rick.
it
It makes
kind of
sense.
does. You are goofy looking like him. That makes sense. And the other
Yeah.
guy, even though he
I
was
guess
a
a
little
big-
thick with 2 C's, he was pretty good looking. So that's all right.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
absolutely. It was, I
Yeah,
do.
I mean, why not?
Josh, does this make you more or less confident in the vaccine process? It sounds like it made Rick way more confident. He's like, yeah, it's part of the process. Fauci said so. What do you think, Josh?
I'm not going to be confident until they actually come out with it.
No. And then, so are you part of that first wave that would take it?
No, I'm going to wait to see what happens, and then I'll jump in line.
Sounds like we're all on the same page there with that. Like we talked about that last week, and none of us want to do it. No,
Yeah.
we don't want to be the first wave.
Well, it kind of sounded like you had turned around on that a little bit when you were
Me?
talking, Rick. You kind of
No, I
sounded
said
like
I'm still
the process. Trust the process.
well, it is the process, and I trust it 100%. But part of that process for me is waiting for at least like 2/3 of that first wave to get their shit, make sure they're not zombies, and that it's actually working before I go and get my vaccine. So I don't want to be the first to try it, honestly.
Rick, did you get your flu shot
I
for
sure
this
did.
year? Me too.
Woo-hoo! Not messing around with that.
I don't
Not trying to get that.
haven't
What do they
got
call
one.
it? A twin-demic? So,
Yeah, they're saying you can have both at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yeah,
So-
it's different
so
strains.
folks,
dude.
get out there, get your flu vaccine. You don't even have to believe in it. Just do it just to be safe, man. It's not going to hurt you.
Don't believe
Yeah.
in.
And you know, it's recommended by 50% of the Take Warning podcast.
Fuck a doctor, right?
it took
Took that
Duper that
recommendation.
long to get it. The Mises returning.
Well, I don't know where you you didn't do a poll. Like that's what I was thinking about. Like who's the 50%? Like we didn't take a
Well, that's
poll on
because
this. Like
we already know that you're anti-vaxxer. So, like, we just assume
I'm not.
automatically you don't like flu vaccines.
I'm not. I'm cautious, but no, I'm caught up on my shots. My dogs are caught up on their shots. My baby's caught up on her shots.
So you got your flu shot for this year, Duper?
No,
Okay, so there you go,
There's a
50%.
difference between believing in it and not doing it because I don't believe in it, because it's more of a lazy thing for me right now about going to the flu shot. Like I would have to leave my house, go to like a fucking Walgreens, get a needle in my arm. Like that just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it doesn't
Literally
sound
5
fun.
minutes. You walk in, they stick it in
Yeah,
your arm,
like-
and walk out.
If they literally would do that when I was walking through the store, when I was going to the grocery store to buy groceries, I would probably do it. But like if they were walking next to me while I was walking in, like if I got to stop at any point during my shopping, I'm out. But if they could walk next to me, take the shot, boom, I'm in.
Well, dude, when you go get your pills from the herpes clinic, just have them give it to them then.
People are gonna think that shit's true. That shit is not true. First off, that shit is fake. So let's
Wait, you
move
told
on.
your wife about it, though, right? I mean, I'm realizing now that we're recording a podcast, and it's actually recorded now, and I'm not sure in all the years you guys have been together, 10 years, does she know about the herpes?
Well,
Oh.
Rachel knows that you gave it
Yeah,
to
of
me,
course. I don't hold back.
right? All right, it's time for a circle jerk. I mean, there's no better
Speaking of herpes.
talk than herpes to get us into a circle jerk.
Would you like to partake in a circle jerk?
My pants are already down.
Faster, 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 faster.
I got it on my face.
Fuck, it's on the microphone.
All right. Circle jerk.
So we're going to start real quick and jump right into this. Hey, Greg, what's your strangest talent?
Ooh. Fuck, dude. Probably being lazy. Is that a
Is that your
talent?
strangest
Like-
talent, though? That's the question.
Oh, well. I
What
don't
do you
know,
double
man.
joint
That's a good
it?
one. Probably
You know,
my ability to trim my nose hairs. I do a pretty good job at that.
okay. Josh, what's your talent? The strangest one.
Shit. I have no fucking idea, dude.
This is what we love about a
I
circle
don't-
jerk.
I'm talentless.
I would say my talent is putting up with Greg's hatred of all of us. Like, holy shit, dude! I've been putting up with that for over 20 years, so I think that's a pretty.
I was actually going to say that Greg's strangest talent is that he's able to hold a grudge beyond a decade.
He could be on that Amazon show, The Boys. Like, what's your superpower? I hold grudges forever.
I love that show, dude.
This is amazing.
Dude, what they did with the humpback whale is some of the funniest shit I've seen.
We gotta have a segment next week where we can just talk about The Boys. We gotta have...
I've not seen the new episode.
Oh my god, dude. I won't say anything else beyond that, dude, but that shit had me rolling.
All right. Hey, Duper.
Yeah.
What is your favorite smell and why?
My favorite. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I love the smell of a gas station. Like when you go to the gas station, you just smell the fumes. Yeah, at the pump, man. I love that shit. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just Josh can back me up on this. He drives a car. It's just that smell. It's a good smell. I've always loved it since I was a child.
It's the same thing. Same thing with when you smoke the tires, you get that burnt rubber. And
so that is that yours, Josh? Is that your favorite smell?
I guess I'll go with that.
Greg, what's your favorite smell and why is it the Famunda cheese from Duper?
Oh, wait, my Famunda or Duper's Famunda? Because his is extra fermented. So because it just wafts from the warm inner moist areas of Duper's body. So I mean, it like his herpes, the smell also wafts and spreads evenly. So yeah, that's why I love it.
Okay, that makes sense. That would make sense. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
What sport did you try as a child and fail at?
Everything.
I was gonna say everything.
I remember Josh as a youth, like all of us in our prime. Like at least Rick would get out there and try to play a sport. Josh was like, "I'm not even gonna try. I'll just watch it." Like, holy fuck, you wouldn't even put an effort into it. But go ahead, Josh. This is yours.
You already answered it. I was gonna say everything.
And he's not even a good-looking cheerleader either. That's fucking.
Hey, I was your number one fan, asshole.
Yeah, you were. I love you,
Duper.
No, you don't.
Duper, what sport did you try as a child and fail at, and also blew your MCL at?
Man, as a kid, there was nothing more I wanted to do than grow up to be an NBA player. I put all my money into that cup, and that shit did not work out. I only grew to be 6 feet tall. So first off, that was against me, and then I wasn't that fast. And then shooting in the European style wasn't cool until now. So, well, past 10 years. So that's what I failed at. And then I also got the benefit of blowing out my ACL and my MCL and my meniscus while I was playing basketball. So
pretty sweet. Greg?
What do you think mine is? That's what I want to know.
It's got to be curling.
Close. But hockey. Tennis. So I played like 2 seasons of hockey, right? And I could not skate to save my fucking life. I'd just be busting my ass all over the place. And the coach was like, "Your defense." Okay. And dude, I couldn't fucking take nobody out because I'd fucking fall all the goddamn time, dude. So the next season, I was like, all right, fuck this. I don't need to skate. I'll just be goalie, you know? So then I was a fucking goalie until I got my first concussion. And then, yeah, dude, your first concussion at 8 years old is not.
So Greg, yeah, you can't even walk straight without falling.
Well, you know, back then though, I wasn't as fat as I am now, so I had some.
Didn't have the chins weighing you down.
Yeah, you know. But I remember my first concussion like it was yesterday. So, you know, the team was coming towards me, and I was like, okay, they're gonna one-time me. I know it. And then so they do the pass, they set up the one-timer, and like the dude in the league that had like the hardest fucking slap shot, I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt, you know. And that motherfucker shot it, and like it was slow motion. I saw like the bright orange puck, not ice hockey, roller hockey. So of course it's an orange puck, and that bitch was like slowly like coming towards my head, like,
slowly coming at your head, and you couldn't move out of the way.
No, dude, it's kind of like, if you ever been in a car accident, you know how like things just slow down before like shit hits the fan. It was kind of like that. Classical music was playing, stuff like that, and then that bitch hit me in the head, and then I like the puck fell like in my glove, and then like 45 minutes later I woke up.
Good job, Greg. You stopped the puck.
Yeah,
Good
dude.
job on the rapid
yeah.
fire question there too, Greg. I appreciate that. So,
I always have a good backstory.
What was your sport, Rick?
the one that I failed at was also hockey. It was fucking bad, and I went straight to goalie because I knew I couldn't skate. Wound up getting my ass handed to me by some kids that wound up in the IHL a few years later, and went ahead and gave that up because through the shorts, I had welts on my thighs that I've never. It was bad. It was pretty bad. So yeah, same thing. Hockey. I was not good. I tried. I loved it, but no. So, Dupe, if you were a vegetable, what would you be?
A vegetable. Oh man. So cucumber.
For which reason, though?
This is
For
the-
salads or?
Yeah, for salads. Why else? Because they have a good water content. They're crisp.
Intact or sliced?
Intact. Fully intact. No, circumcised.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Josh, what's your vegetable? If you could be one.
Oh shit. That'd be a bean sprout.
That'd be
Just one. Just one bean sprout. Not a bunch
just
of
a
them. Just
single
one.
thing.
Yeah. Small story of my life.
Nice, Gregory.
So I got another long story.
Son
for
of
this
a
one.
bitch!
Are you
All
ready?
right, we're skipping Greg.
Rick, what would your be?
How the fuck do you have a long ass story about what vegetable you want to be?
I don't, but I was just gonna say for Duper an eggplant. But for me a potato because potatoes are like pop marked in ears and ugly and just like my face.
Very nice.
That's actually a root, though. I don't think
It's a tuber.
It's a
No,
vegetable.
it's a tuber.
Rick, what about you?
Potato.
That's fine. It is a
Right.
root vegetable. If I were gonna be one, I'd be a bushel of broccoli. Short stalks, nice and furry on top.
It's a lot of fur.
Cute.
Hey, Greg. Since
Yeah,
we
dude.
already kind of talked about your superhero powers of holding a grudge, I'm gonna go ahead and just give you this one. If you could be one superhero, which superhero would you be?
I think we know this one. Spider-Man.
Okay. What? Super.
I give you the shortest answer possible, and then you call me gay. Like,
Duper.
Yeah. So when we're this superhero, do we just get their powers? Or do we get like everything?
You
that
were
they
gonna
are?
be that superhero. Yeah.
Oh, Batman, dude, because he's got all that
damn it.
money. It's really about the money for me. It's not even about his superpowers and shit. It's like I would be Batman, but then just fucking quit like immediately. The moment I take over his life, I'm just Bruce Wayne at that point. Like fuck that hero shit. I'm not trying to get punched in the face. I'm Bruce Wayne.
All right, go ahead, Josh.
bitch.
Well, fucking Duper took mine, so I'll just pick Superman so I can fly. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense. I was gonna go like I have like a tie here. It's either arm fall off boy because his arms fall off, or Iron Man
What?
because of the same reason for the fucking money. I mean, Tony Stark had
Oh, I
so
forgot
much
about
fucking
Iron
money. Like, I don't care about the Iron Man suits. I'd use those for stupid shit. Like when I need to run to the store and shit, I could be like, well, I'm just gonna fly over there in my Iron Man suit. I'm not worried about saving the world, but I get a lot of fucking money. That was my thing. Agreed.
Damn
Rick,
it.
I always thought you'd be Wonder Woman.
What because of the moves?
You
I
just
saw a
sit there-
picture. I saw a picture of Josh's Wonder Woman once. That was
What?
sexy as shit.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah.
Josh, if you had to endorse a brand, which brand would it be?
Hot Pockets,
Hot Pocket.
because I could cook them in the microwave.
Greg, what would yours be?
can I say Geno's?
Ah, right. This show's going south. Dude, what's yours?
Oh man. Ferrari, I guess. I just want some
Nice.
free
I'm gonna
cars.
go with Great Value from the Walmart brand. If you want mediocre but still quality shit for a lower cost, endorse Great Value. And also, I'm trying to get us sponsored by Great Value, so we'll see what happens. We'd be the first podcast sponsored by Great Value, and it would be amazing.
I hope they make their version of Hot Pockets.
Actually, anybody out there with a company with the word value in it, we want you to be our sponsor.
Seriously.
Like, that's just kind of what we're going
Like
for.
those cheap napkins you can buy and like the cutlery and shit. I don't care. Your value in the name, we want you to sponsor us. It'll be fantastic. Dude, if you could eliminate one food so that no one would eat it ever again, what would you pick to destroy?
Curry. I fucking hate
Oh,
the
you
smell
son
of
of a
curry.
bitch.
I cannot stand it. Like anywhere I go, like as soon as I smell it, I wasn't like the first time I ever had curry. I was in Iraq, and this prince from Saudi Arabia brings us curry, and so I'm thinking this shit has to be the best food on the planet. A fucking prince eats this food. This is gonna be the best thing I've ever had. I eat it, and I wanted to puke. It was the worst fucking thing I've ever had. Never again will I eat curry. I've tried it. Well, I did try it again once here in the United States. Still fucking garbage. It's horrible food. Nobody should eat it, and just the smell of it makes me want to just vomit.
Thank you for all the rage. I actually love curry, but that's just me. Greg.
Well, you're wrong. You're first off wrong just about liking it. So,
Dude, like when I was in Iraq, I had some of the curry that was better than the piece of shit food we were getting. You know, you eat some curry up with some naan bread, that
Fuck
shit
yeah,
is
dude.
good, dude. But Rick,
Wrong.
it'd be broccoli and cauliflower. Fuck them.
Josh, what would be yours?
I'm gonna piss a lot of people off right now, but I'm gonna say blue cheese because it's fucking disgusting.
That's funny.
I
That's funny
agree.
because I'm going down the same line. I would say goat's cheese. Like goat's cheese is the nastiest shit I've ever had in my life. I hate that. It just makes me angry that it exists. Like that shit is disgusting. Got a question, Gregory. You have
Yeah,
more
dude.
chins than all of us. What does your perfect breakfast look like?
Fucking the split decision breakfast from IHOP. So you get a little bit of fucking pancakes, you get a little bit of French toast, you get some bacon, sausage, hash browns, done.
Okay, all right. I forgot how much you love IHOP too.
have
I
you
love me some IHOP.
have you named all of your chins, and what are their names?
Oh well, Duper Rick and Josh.
What about the rest of them?
Hi, Duper.
Oh my god.
So you just walk around the store in your house, just like I fucking hate you, chins. I fucking hate you. All right.
Fuck you, Rick.
But it works pretty, dude. It works pretty good. So like when people get angry at me, I can be, it wasn't me, it was Duper. It wasn't me, it was Rick.
Josh, what's your perfect breakfast and why is it lox?
I actually had that for breakfast today, by the way. I had this when I was on the island. It was like their version of like a Loco Moco. It was rice.
Wait, on the island. You can't
Yeah.
just start off with on the island. Like, goddamn, you fancy fuck. Like, what the fuck are you talking about on an island? Like, were you like stranded on an island? But I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's not what it
When I
was.
was
You're
hanging
rich
out-
ass.
When I was hanging out with Gilligan.
Huh.
Anyway,
On a 3-hour tour.
It was rice, 2 eggs, and this amazing like sausage gravy that I will never ever eat again or get recreated.
So what island is this?
It was on Guam.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh, and it actually, sorry, there was meat. It was. It's gonna sound weird, but it was meatloaf on top of this.
Yeah, it's
and
Moco
it was
Loco.
but it was meatloaf, not a hamburger.
Yeah,
patty.
it's still so good. So good.
Dude, it was so fucking good.
It's actually made me change my mind on my perfect breakfast because I could take any version of Moco Locos I probably would be so happy with. That
Yeah.
or any breakfast burger. Like with the egg and the hamburger patty and the bacon and the hash brown and all that shit just crammed into a burger. Like that's amazing to me.
So what you had for breakfast?
Yeah,
then?
I had Wendy's. It was amazing. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, Wendy's breakfast.
hey Rick. Hey, remember that time when you guys picked me up from Iraq and then we all got McGriddles? That was a good time, wasn't it,
I don't-
Rick? Who wasn't,
wasn't
there? Rick.
I wasn't there.
Hey Greg,
Yeah,
Greg.
dude.
I was there.
You were there, dude. Those McGriddles were fucking fantastic, weren't they?
Yes.
I think that was the first time in my life I had a McGriddle, and I was like, "Holy shit, what have I been missing?" It was
God
fantastic.
damn it. Dude, do you have a perfect breakfast or are we moving on?
See, I love breakfast, man. You guys seem like you guys are going dinner for breakfast. I would have breakfast for dinner. I love the hash browns. I love easy over eggs, sausage, some bacon, and all kinds of different bacon. Like not just, but I only like bacon at
So wait.
breakfast. Like I don't really want to have bacon
Like
for
goat
dinner.
bacon?
So-
Or are we talking about like what
Turkey
Tofu
cow
bacon?
What do you mean all types of bacon?
Like different kinds of flavors. Like you can smoke it different ways and marinate it different ways, and you can get different tastes of bacon.
Also, like some peppered bacon and
Some pepper bacon, some
So
jalapeno bacon,
still
some
from a
applewood
pig.
bacon.
Still from a pig. Just different flavors.
I mean, I've never had other bacon. I mean, I would be more than happy to try it if you want to send it to me. My address is 4423 East Main Street. Just
Your
send it
wife's
to
gonna
me. I'll
appreciate
eat
that.
whatever bacon.
I'm sure your wife will appreciate you putting that out on the air.
Random
Especially,
bacon being sent
and
to
now
you.
that we have people listening from India, thank you, India. So good time.
You're the one dude. Probably don't speak English, but thank you.
And I'm gonna call that a circle jerk.
Woo!
I feel relieved.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Elon Musk is a modern day Dr. Doolittle. And so Greg actually watched the entire thing on this. He's speaking to animals now. Tell us more about that, buddy.
So, wow. So it's actually Neuralink, all right, which is which basically is like this surgical procedure where, dude, it's like it's about the size of a watch battery, if not thicker. But look at these following, neurological things that it can help cure: memory loss, depression, anxiety, addiction, insomnia, hearing loss, blindness, extreme pain, strokes, brain damage, seizures, and paralysis. So this thing would work perfect for you, Duper.
What about
It could probably even help you speak better.
Hey, Greg. Greg.
Yeah, dude.
What about premature ejaculation?
It could probably do that too.
Does it fix your fucking face, Greg?
Yes.
No, it does not.
Wow, you
Yes, it
actually
does.
got him there with the
You know?
speech. Look at him; he's emotional now.
I know he's like
I know,
all
I'm
butt
crying.
hurt now.
I'm actually crying.
Like so. Good thing you guys can't see us on the video feed because Duper looks like a homeless veteran. Now he looks like an angry homeless veteran. But anyway, so Elon Musk showed off this potential for this Neuralink in pigs, and it was actually pretty awesome in some parts of it because you can actually see the brainwaves in the pigs every single time they either sniffed or ate food or whatever. And he actually showed like what the neurons look like when they're firing in a human brain. It was pretty awesome, man. I mean, it is extremely nerdy. Most of you will probably fall asleep. But it is exactly.
Thanks.
So there you go.
Probably put all our
But yes,
listeners to
you get
sleep
to talk
too,
to
by the way.
animals.
Like everybody's asleep now.
Show's over.
He also claimed that in the future you'll be able to save and replay memories, or
Yes.
even summon a car telepathically.
Ooh.
Like
Yes.
those, but don't you kind of feel like if you could just save and replay memories, it would just numb you to good memories? Because then you would just keep replaying these really good memories, right? And so just like what the internet's done to us for sex and things of that sort, where you just kind of get numb to these images and violence, don't you kind of think you would just get numb to these good feelings as well from just having good memories that you could just play at any time?
I mean,
well, you got to
go ahead.
Rick,
I was
go
just
ahead,
gonna
Rick.
say,
Go
like,
ahead, Rick.
what if you used it to record like your dreams and shit, right? Or like instead of dreaming, you just
That'd be
replay
cool.
your best memories, and you're like, oh, now I'm not gonna do anything but sleep really well. But yeah, I could see you'd have to find some kind of constraint and control with that, right? Because you still want to make new memories, of course.
Well, you got to remember too. Like this can also be used for people who have dementia or Alzheimer's, and I'm pretty sure that those people, especially in the severe, the people who have it the most severe, probably want to remember some of those good memories, and with this, they can, But I think the hugest one is paralysis, like the potential to refire the nerves and the nerve connectings, is something that is a game changer. If it can really cure some parts of
Yeah, I agree.
paralysis, like that's just amazing.
Definitely.
Josh, so you love cars.
Mhm.
Do you want telepathy so you can call your car over to you?
Why would I need to call my car over to me though if it's sitting in front of my house?
Well, like if you went to see a movie, right? And so you walk outside the movie theater and you're like, "Come here, car, come get me, kid."
Yeah, that's just gonna make us Americans more lazy. But I'd probably do it.
Dude, it wouldn't be every car, it'd just be Teslas, because Teslas have
Well-
the summon feature, which is
Well,
amazing.
Can they make it from the parking lot to the front of the movie theater without?
I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
you're gonna have to charge it after that, right?
You think they're gonna stop? Like Skynet didn't stop with just like robots. Like they kept going and trying to incorporate everything else. There's no fucking way Tesla's gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna put it in this car. Tesla's gonna try to put that in every car.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make money.
They're gonna try to make money. It's a capitalist situation there. So
I want to have the first Pinto.
the first mentally summoned Ford Pinto. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I got a question for you. It's been bugging me, especially because we have a fire out here that's bigger than shit. Started when some parents decided to have a gender reveal party, had a little explosive to let them know it was a boy. And now we're thousands and thousands of acres burned away with very little containment. People are losing their houses. People are losing their lives in these fires along the West Coast. So my question, and it was a question I was asking you guys in the meeting, but I mean, are gender reveal parties even fucking necessary? Like, what's the point of doing this shit? I don't remember before the last 10 years or so when it became such a big deal to have to do
It
that
is
shit.
new.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's bullshit.
Just text me or don't say anything.
So now we have to go for being men and being married. Now we have to go to 2 different parties. We have to go to a gender reveal, then a fucking baby shower later on. That's bullshit.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. You
We don't have to,
child.
but
Well, gender reveal parties are normally just the mom and dad just doing something on Instagram or
Nope.
something. It's not like an
No.
actual
No.
party.
No,
Yeah,
it is a
For
party.
most
It is
of
a
them.
party.
Rick
It
and,
is
I
a
went,
party.
Rick and I went to my sister's
Yeah.
gender reveal
It was a
party,
party.
and it was an hour and a half longer than it should have been.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I'll tell you, my wife and I, we're planning on having a gender reveal party. My child is still unnamed. She's only 2 years old, and she can't tell me how she identifies. But once she can tell me how she identifies, we're having a gender reveal party. Just so you guys know, and you guys are invited.
Duper.
I probably won't show up.
What if she comes out
yeah.
as a goddamn Morgorian? Just curious if she comes out and she's like, "Fuck you, Dad, I am a goddamn Morgorian," and then
If that's how she identifies, I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to find a canister that I don't know
Well-
what color that would be.
Well, is she already starting to build walls around the house?
with the shitty wall.
Mm-mm.
I like a shitty pork. I like a shitty chicken.
Does that mean she doesn't identify as a Republican? Is that what that means? I don't know, Greg.
Wow.
Building walls, right?
Wow.
you know what's crazy about the fires? There's over 100 fires burning on the West Coast
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
Well, almost 100 fires. I think there's actually 96. And that one fire was just one of many. But many of those are arson out
But
there.
it's
So
the dumbest way to start a fire.
it's one of the dumbest ways. I'm sure that I can look up more dumb ways to set it, but be safe. I mean, if you guys are going to go out there and do anything that could potentially cause a fire, such as camping, things that are more common, bring a fire extinguisher. Like that shit is important. Like to just be ready to be able to put the fire out in case anything may
Yeah.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking stupid. Stupid. So
Stupid. Yeah, stupido.
So I think it's safe to say that 50% of this podcast have never had a gender reveal party, so I don't think we could recommend it.
I didn't have one either. Just so you know.
75%.
Well, I've not had one yet, so
75%.
And we already know she's gonna be a goddamn Morgorian.
Are you gonna throw your own gender reveal party when you come out and identify?
Well, I already had 3 of them for my chins, so those went well.
So each one of your chins has its own gender. I like that. Like,
I was just gonna say, what does Rick identify as?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Well, I think he identifies as a non-binary donkey.
What?
It makes sense because he's a jackass.
Yeah, it makes sense. Totally, I understand.
There we go.
What about Josh?
What's mine, Greg? Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty cute. We had balloons off my chin and everything. It was good times.
What's mine, Greg?
Oh man, you would have to be the muskrat.
But we already have a
I
friend.
like how this is like going from gender to animals. I don't know how
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
happened. But anyway, moving on.
I don't even want. Yeah, I don't even want to know the
Josh,
last one.
you wanna
Moving
get
on.
us involved in
Yeah,
sports?
so yeah, dude. NFL started this week. We had one game so far, and all the games are playing today. Who do you guys got for your Super Bowl picks this year? Let's start with Dupe.
Super Bowl picks. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on the AFC. I mean, they're just by far the best team. I mean, the past 2 years they were just phenomenal. I don't think that they lost enough that they're going to take a big step back. In the NFC, I got to go with Tom Brady and whatever team he's on, because that dude is just the most handsome 40-plus-year-old man I've ever seen in my life. Is there any other reason to pick a Super Bowl champion besides good looks? I don't think so. Tom Brady, Super Bowl
Tom
champion.
Brady looks special, Ed. I just want to point that out. He's got that Cro-Magnon like forehead. I don't understand why everybody looks at him like that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Giselle? Seriously, get a little bit more
All right,
sculpted.
Rick.
I don't.
Rick, who's your pick?
My picks, as much as I love my Los Angeles Rams, and I really, really would like for them to go back to the Super Bowl, we've dumped 3/4 of our fucking salary into like 4 players. So realistically, this is going to sound fucking terrible. But I'm going to go with obviously Kansas City. The only other team that could step up to them in the AFC is going to be Baltimore as of right now. So I'm going to go Kansas City, and it's going to be the Niners. So, Niners.
Oh, fucking
I know.
Niners. What about you?
Okay, that's a good pick if their quarterback can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Right. That's been the key for them the past few years. Is what's his name?
Garoppolo. So what they did is they built a team that doesn't need Jimmy Garoppolo. So I mean, you need your quarterback, obviously, but that team is good enough that they can win without him. That defense is good enough. Like I'm really upset.
They can get to the playoffs, but I don't know if they can win. And if they win, then they need a bit of luck.
I need to make a point here too. I really fucking hate the 49ers, and I hate that I have to say it.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at it, and honestly, New Orleans would be the only other pick I have. But I have to go Niners if I had a choice between the two of them.
Yeah. What about you, Greg?
So, as of the time of this recording, the Las Vegas Raiders are 1-0. Woo-hoo! Might be only one of their only wins, but hey, they got it. But you guys are all fucking stupid and you're all wrong, okay? So the Super Bowl winner, okay? Well, first going to the Super Bowl, it's going to be COVID versus 19. And COVID is going to take the victory because I don't even know if the NFL season is going to go all the way through because the NFL, they're not playing with fans in the seats, right? Or are they?
They are. In six stadiums, they are playing with fans in the stadium.
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to check any of the games out so far, but dude, I watched some of the college football games yesterday with supposedly their social distancing, and I swear to God, dude, none of those fucking people were social distancing in the stands. Half of them didn't even have masks on. So, I mean, if it's going to be like that, it's only going to be 100 times worse for the NFL. So, I don't even know if they're going to be able to finish their season.
So, I mean, they play one game a week, so it's pretty easy for them to change their bubble format and make a correction. So I could see them changing that pretty easily.
So also, I was just because I've been watching football all day, right? It's kickoff. I read that the NFL is actually paying out hotels when they have to have a team travel in to quarantine the entire hotel and shut it down for their teams. So they're trying to keep them safe and isolated until game day.
Today's prices for hotels, what is that, like $10 a room?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a big deal.
Yeah, no, but they're trying. We'll see what happens. I honestly, week 9 is my cutoff. I don't think it'll go past week 9 if they have a lot of problems. That's as far as it can go.
You think they are? Well, you heard baseball's going to go to the bubble for the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're trying to determine the site right now.
So, yeah, and it's kind of like offensive. Well, they determine the sites. The Dodgers are one of the sites, and the Astros are one of the sites. And I think there's a potential where the Dodgers could play their playoff games in Houston, which is like a slap in the face to me. I think it's embarrassing. But who's your picks, Josh?
So I'm a Rams fan. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm going to pick my Rams. The Saints look pretty good today watching Breeze battle Brady. And of course the wife's a Saints fan, but I'm going to go Rams and KC again.
Yeah, whenever you have an elite quarterback, a Mahomes or a Drew Brees, you're always going to be a contender every year. It doesn't matter what the rest of that team is.
They're talking about it being like Drew's last year playing for the Saints or before he retires. Yeah. So I think he's gonna go out there and fucking bust his ass and try to win a Super Bowl before he goes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick. I think it's pretty solid, and I think this year, because we didn't have a preseason, we didn't have real OTAs. We don't really know what the teams look like, so we have to make these assumptions blind as if we were walking into preseason. So we'll see how it goes, really. But they do all look pretty fresh. There's not a lot of injuries compared to what I expected. I expected a shit ton of injuries this first week, and there's not a lot of problems. Yeah, except for New York, but that's all right. It's the Jets.
Yeah, they don't count.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys ready to get through the tough part of the show?
Yeah,
we're here for you, bud.
All right. Well, before I start this, I'm just going to preface it really quick. This is a very heartfelt fuck that motherfucker, and I apologize if I get weird and emotional, because that's what's probably going to happen with this one.
Take warning. The following segment is a personal view and opinion that may offend some. This is an independent opinion and should be taken as such. Put away your tissues and closed minds. It's time to hear the fucker out.
I don't script things. I think everybody knows that. I like to play everything off the cuff when we do this show. It to me, I think it's a little bit more entertaining when I can just be myself. But I decided to write something a little bit different. So I'll just read it off. September 12th, 2018. This is the day that ALS, a neurodegenerative disease also known as Lou Gehrig's, took my Uncle Benny. We're recording this on the same weekend 2 years later, and I'm reflecting back on how much bullshit it is that this disease even exists. I was like most people. I didn't really know much about ALS or Lou Gehrig's, other than the baseball player, and that in 2014, a bunch of people were dumping buckets of ice and water all over their heads in support of further research. What most people didn't know that were doing it is that although it was very valiant and honorable to do that, putting yourself out there for those that suffer from this disease, that was how truly horrific and debilitating it is to watch somebody suffer, knowing that there is no cure, that there is no treatment, and there is no future. This disease attacks you slowly through your muscular system until every single muscle is numb and no longer works, including your lungs, your heart, your tongue. It takes every bit of you away. The only thing that this disease doesn't seem to touch is your brain and your eyes. It's almost as if this motherfucker has a mind of its own and wants you to watch and know exactly what is happening to you as you slowly wither away to nothing and suffer the entire time. I lost one of the most important people I will ever know. One of the most important human beings I will ever love. I watched him succumb to a motherfucking disease that barely has any tracers, nearly any way to know that you have it until you have it. And even then, you might be tested for everything else before coming to that diagnosis, losing precious time not knowing. When Benny was initially diagnosed, he didn't want his diagnosis communicated to anybody outside of his closest family and friends. While we always respected his decision, I don't think any of us ever truly understood why he would keep it a secret until he inevitably had no speech, no movement. He made this decision early on to suffer this disease alone, not to worry the world around him with his troubles, because that's who Benny was. He gave his whole self to anyone that met him, anyone that needed his intelligence, his humor, and his strength. He didn't linger on things he couldn't control, only helping others control what they thought they couldn't. He'd give you the shirt off his back, the appliances out of his own house to make sure you kept your kids fed. That's a true story. He literally gave me my first and most beloved car immediately after I passed my driver's test, because he knew how much it meant to me that I could gain freedom at 16. He was at my basketball games when I was 10. He moved into Vegas to go to college, even without asking for it. He had an understanding of the world I only wish others would have. His only goal in life was to be a good human, to impart his good nature and knowledge on those he loved. Benny loved, without hesitation, his mother, his sisters, and every one of his nieces and nephews like they were his own children. I always felt like we were raised by committee, especially myself and my younger sister, Ashley. If my grandma was the committee chief, Benny was the ultimate consigliere. He was right there, or excuse me, he was right where he needed to be when we needed him most, and somehow always our biggest advocate and mentor. He was 52 years old. He was diagnosed when he was 59 or 49. Best shape of his life, active, and healthier than anyone else I can think of. He had created a family and successful career with LA County. He had found himself and what his role was to all of us. He was fucking happy. And then his elbow and his arm started going numb. That was it. That was his clue that within 7 months, his speech would be slurred beyond recognition, and his hands and legs would start weakening to the point where he couldn't pinch a pen, pick up a potato chip. He spent 2 years declining and withering for nothing, for no motherfucking reason. Then he had a gene that went Ari. I have his last email, the last communication he would ever send to me, 2 weeks before he passed. His body was gone. He was starving to death at this point because he couldn't even swallow. But somehow he was upbeat in that email. He was excited to keep a conversation going about the upcoming Rams season. He was concerned about me, about my well-being. He knew this was straining my psyche, even without me ever saying a word about it. He wrote the last email with his eyes. It must have taken so long to complete, and it was only words of love and support. He didn't even mention how much pain he was in, how the hunger pangs were constantly with him when he couldn't sleep, when he didn't have the energy to even look up when people were talking to him. Miss you, Benny. Ask yourself, if you never get a chance to hear your loved ones tell you how proud they are of you, how much they love you, will you be okay? How would it feel if you knew the only reason you couldn't have that luxury is because of a supposedly rare and uncommon disease? I'll tell you how I feel. I feel like ALS can suck a fat one, and this world needs to give a shit about it. Because it's there, it can happen to any of us, and we aren't doing enough to fight this motherfucker off. Now is the only time we have, and we better slow it down and think. Have we let those around us know how much they mean to us? Give those people you love a call, a text, an email. Tell them you love them and don't leave this world regretting not being able to do these things. Because in the end, the only thing that matters is that we love each other and are loved in return. We're asking you now to stop and please take a moment to consider supporting a local or national research foundation for neurodegenerative diseases. Donate, give time, do something if you can, because one day it could be your family, your closest friend, your spouse. Don't have the same regret of not taking 10 minutes to dump some cold ass water on your head and send $20 to help find a fucking treatment or a cure. I love you, Benny. And to ALS, fuck you, motherfucker.
Thank you, Rick. Miss you, Benny. So, as an outro for the show, guys, please consider donating to neurodegenerative disorders and ALS. We'll make sure we put that link in the show notes page. Duper, what you got?
My last really impactful memory of Benny was at Rick's wedding, and he was pretty bad at that point. It was very hard for him to talk, very difficult for him to walk. And what I do remember vividly is just even with all those obstacles in front of him, he was just so positive still. He was still the beam of light at that wedding. So that's just who he was. No matter what he was facing, I mean, he was just so positive of a human being, and we really did lose somebody important. I also want to wish everybody out there affected by the fires and the upcoming hurricane well-being, and make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves out there. And I want to say, fuck you, LA, for canceling Halloween. Halloween's a real thing. We need to have it.
First, I wanted to say Benny always had a smile on his face. Probably like Rick and Duper, everybody says he's the best person on the fucking planet. You could fucking kick his dog and he'd still smile about it for some reason. And he's truly missed. And anybody ever wants to talk about anything like this, just, call us, email us, text us, get a hold of us. We're here. And just hope everybody can try to have a good week this week. Football's here. We got some Monday Night Football going on tomorrow, and be good people.
I know I ran it kind of long, but I appreciate everybody remembering him. I think that's the biggest thing that matters here is that he made an impact, and although That's all you ever really want, right? Out of this life is to make sure that you leave an impact, leave your legacy somehow. So I really miss them, and I hope everybody has a great week. Stay positive. It's all good. It's my birthday tomorrow. That's fun.
Other than that, guys, please make sure continue to follow along with us on the podcast. Go to takewarningpod.com, where there you can see all the links to where all of our episodes are located on your favorite podcast platform. Please keep the conversation going on social media. If you guys know anybody who's been impacted by ALS, or if you just want to continue the conversation about anything we spoke here today, if you want to share your 9/11 story, if you want to give us your Super Bowl picks, etc., please find us on Take Warning Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on all your favorite social media platforms. We are also on YouTube. If you think the podcasts are pretty funny and enjoyable audio wise, you haven't seen nothing yet. So go to YouTube. Take Warning is our YouTube channel. And we have full shows on there. We have short videos of just all of our segments, like Ask the Beard, Circle Jerk, TITS News, Future Cam, etc. It could all be found there. Obviously, continue to like, subscribe, and just leave us your love in the comments.
That all fucked me up so much. You know what I forgot to tell everybody? How many days has it been since November 1st, 2017, the day that the Dodgers were robbed of a fucking World Series? 1,047 days. I don't care how upset I am still upset about that motherfucker. You guys all have a good time. Thank you for listening, and
take me back, take me back.
There goes the mic.
To the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me home to rest where the mockingbirds nest and to cry through the green in the spring. Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days and the simple time we lived back when. Well, let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow and the glow of the fire pull me home. Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me back down the old dirt road.
Thanks for listening today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Check us out at takewarningpod.com and look for us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We hope to see you in a couple days.